Meg! What?
I'm going to the music.
Meg!
They're watching.
Look, we're twinsies. We're twinsies. Meg, it's going to be a great show. You want to know why it's going to be a great show?
Please tell me.
Because fucking Hugh's not here, man. Oh, my tummy hurts. Pussy. Anyway, thank you for joining the Liberty Risk. Thank you for joining the Liberty Risk podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Meg.
And we're not here with Hugh because he has menstrual cramps and he's bleeding out of his ass. Shit happens. So it is what it is.
So what's up? Party too hard.
That's right. So how was your weekend?
Oh fuck! What did I do this weekend?
Oh my god, it was really good then. If you can't remember.
No, I don't think I did anything, and that's why I forgot.
Christ.
Honestly, I forgot today was Monday. Like I had an assignment that's due today, and I sat down to get ready for this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't done it," and I've been playing Minecraft all afternoon.
I got a show I got to do. What happened? I got to do podcasts. What happened?
I'm like, oh my gosh, after this, I have to go and do my homework. But I was just like, I think I did homework all weekend.
So I just want to give a quick.
Week.
I just want to fuck finals. I want to give a quick shout out to Maker's Craft Brewery because they have literally the best beer on the fucking East Coast, and they treat us like family. And also to Poddex for their awesome product. So I'm going to post all that stuff at the end, but I want to thank both of them really quick. And so I've been busting my ass at work this entire week, trying to pick up as many hours as possible because
Christmas.
So annoying. But it's like
the evil word this month.
Yeah, they keep throwing these little incentives, like financial incentives towards us. So it's like, fuck, okay, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'll work 10 more hours. But I mean, honestly, I can't complain. I work from home, so I'm just like, I go from this computer to my other fucking computer, and that's pretty much it. So there's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing that's
not too bad.
No, there's nothing that's like strenuous. So
I definitely would be down for that kind of a job because right now I'm slightly out of a job because
really
COVID. Yeah, so apparently the family that I work for was exposed to some degree, and to be on the safe side, they're like, don't come back to help with the kids, which I'm basically like an in-home teacher for them, and I help them with their schoolwork.
Yeah.
And
so do you have the vid?
Like,
you got the vid?
I don't have the vid, but I'm getting tested anyways just to make sure. But I am, drinking my fluids, being safe, and eating pineapple because it's very high in calcium. Although, I don't know, does anyone else have this? When you eat pineapple, it like burns away at your tongue if you eat too much of it? Or
yes,
am I just weird?
It's the acid in it.
Okay, because like I have no feeling in my tongue now, but I could taste it, so we're good there. So yeah, now I have to go get tested and like quarantine, which I'm really not good at. Like tomorrow I can't go to the gym, and I haven't like missed a gym day since like September, really. Like it's almost bad. It's almost obsessive, but
I never miss a gym day. Can't you tell?
Oh yeah, looking good. Yeah.
I've gained 17 pounds.
Since when? All of COVID?
All of COVID. No, I don't know if I can know. I'm just in like I'm a steady level. I'm at a steady level of overweight, just like it.
That's okay. I'm considered overweight for my height.
What?
And yeah, I'm considered overweight for my height.
No.
But I did lose 5 pounds this week, and I think it is because I've been improving my diet and coupling it with exercise. But for some people, like I exercise because it helps with my mental health. Like if I don't have that, I'm really depressed. So that's why I work out so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suggest it for anyone because I'll be at the gym, and this happened to me Friday or Thursday, one of those days. And Thursday it happened. At the gym, doing my workout, killing it with some chest flies, and I get a call from the VA. Now, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but it's that instant panic, like your heart is going and you're like, oh my God, what is the VA calling me about? Like, what do they want? And honestly, like, I have been expecting a call from them, so it wasn't anything weird. The VA calls me, I instantly start panicking. And, like, it wasn't the exact answer I wanted, but it was a pretty good answer to the question I had for them. Instead of being, like calm down and be like, I'm good. I had to go over to, like, the battle ropes and, like, those slam balls, and I had to start throwing things because I was so worked up and my adrenaline was going. I was so angry. For no reason. I was like, I just need to get it out. I know it's nothing, but I need to get it out. So I just go over there, tire myself out on some battle ropes, and then I'm like, oh, I'm good now.
I literally am so afraid of those things. I feel like if I started doing that, you would just hear my shoulder go plap 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 plap, and my arms would just fucking fall off. Like I have
It'd be like a rap song.
Yeah, like that dumb shit. But yeah, I can't do those battle rope shit.
I think I'm Santa. I don't do it, and I'm like, yeah, these are my reindeer. I don't know if I'm just like a 5-year-old, but I'm pretty sure everyone at the gym looks at me like a psycho because I'm literally there like, you fucking piece of shit, I fucking hate you.
And like, she has anger issues, stay away. Let's go on the ellipticals.
Yeah, and I've told my trainer there, I'm like, yeah, if you see me on the battle ropes just like killing it, there's probably a really good percentage chance that I am pissed off about something and I just needed to get it out really fast.
Fair enough. When I was going to the gym actively, I know it sounds so funny but when I was active duty, that was exactly when I had a fucked up day or just need to release some stress. I would either go for a run. I would, I did stuff like I would try to, bust out as many push-ups as I could until exhaustion. Just keep going to complete exhaustion. And it's definitely good for your mental health. It's something we're going to be talking about today, especially with the holidays coming up and everything like that. Christmas is around the corner. Have you gotten any Christmas shopping done? What are you doing for Christmas shopping? Are you saying fuck it this year? Because my Christmas shopping is like my oldest daughter. So real quick. So like I asked my oldest daughter, I asked the kids, I said, kids, all right, I need your Christmas lists. Gotta tell daddy what you want Santa to bring you, right? Because I'm blessed and my kids thoroughly believe in Santa as they should. And my oldest daughter hands me her list. It's got like 6 items on it. And I took a quick peruse of the list real fast. So then I took a longer look and I went Xbox, hoverboard, iPhone, iWatch, crafting. Then it went crafting supplies. I'm like, oh, cool. You just tallied off at the end there, huh? Okay, cool. No. Oh, and $50 Amazon gift card.
Listen, she's balling.
Yeah. My other daughter's like, I want hugs. I'm like, I can do that.
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
so
she's
sweet.
like, actually, she asked my 9-year-old, ready for this? One of those, what the fuck is it? The Tamagotchis? Remember those things?
Yeah.
They're coming back.
Oh, yeah, they're back with a vengeance.
She wants one of those.
That's what's up.
So, Jeannie, that's something that's earned, Jeannie, for the people that show up for every episode. Jeannie. There. That's where it hurts. What's this? What did Justin say?
How old is the chair I'm sitting in?
Asking for my 67-year-old mother-in-law who's really into Antiques Roadshow.
You know what? I don't know, but I did actually, I think it's 1920s or so, but I did buy it off of somebody on Facebook Marketplace, and they were like, this was my grandmother's, and they were really old, so like, the chair is pretty old. It's in good condition. I'll probably get it reupholstered one day.
So but, did you get your before we bring our guest in here, did you get your Christmas shit done, Meg?
So, Billy, as you are aware, I have 3 parents and I have 7 siblings.
Yeah, so fuck Christmas, huh?
Yeah, Christmas is basically like, I don't get my brothers anything because they never get me anything, and then I get my sisters stuff because they're easy to get for. I got something for my dad. I already gave it to him because he needed it. and I get something for my stepmom because she'll get upset if I don't get her something. Got to get something for Jerry. But I usually just get stuff for my younger sisters. Like I got Ingrid 2 books, and then for my youngest sister, what did I get her?
All I'm saying, Meg, is go to Five Below. It'd be good.
Not for this little girl. She's like into the emo, grunge, goth style. She wants everything black. And I'm like,
$100 gift card to Hot Topic.
We don't want her to wear that stuff.
It's gonna happen. You might as well control it instead of prevent it.
Well, she decided to like put in a fake nose ring, and she cut a notch in her eyebrow. She does all this.
I'd be like, come here, sweetie. Let me show you how you clean a handgun. Now go stand down on the other end, because if you keep this shit up, you're gonna learn how the handgun works. You take one to the knee.
Yeah, she's in her rebellious stage right now, so I honestly get her a lot of really cute, kind of like quirky outfits that work well for a 13-year-old, but at the same time, it's
you gotta be careful.
Her style.
Yeah.
So like my brother got her a skirt, not realizing how short it was. And I was like, first off, he should not be buying her clothes.
Nope.
Because she's my size. So if something fits me, I usually get it a size up, so it's loose on her. And I make sure that it's like long sleeve, that it's a bit longer, because again, she's built like me. So I know how things are going to fit on her. He doesn't. He's a guy.
Yeah.
So I keep that in mind when I get her stuff, but I've gotten her a few cool things for Christmas.
That's cool.
I get my
it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So we like to see in the comments how you guys are handling Christmas this year, what you guys are doing for your families, if you're gonna stay home, where you're gonna be. We're still thinking about doing like a Christmas Eve special or something. So we're not too sure, but we'll obviously put all that information out on the social media outlets, because Meg is also rocking it with the daily the memes and all the posts and the stories. I don't know how the fuck you do it, Meg, but my hat.
I wake up at 4 a.m. every day.
Jesus. So Meg, we got a fucking awesome guest. I'm psyched.
Yeah.
I watched this video. So it's Neal Andrews, Regent University SVA president. He also has his own YouTube channel. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here really fast. So we're doing something a little bit different today for Liberty Risk. There's about a 5-minute video. We've got obviously Neal here in the green room. He's waiting. We're gonna show his YouTube video right now. So I'm just gonna a little PSA. And this is coming right from Neal. This is what he said to his crew. He said, "This is a very ugly project. I intend to keep this video as ugly as possible." And he didn't want to sugarcoat anything. And he put that out to his crew. So the video is called The Infamous 22. It's about suicide in the veterans community. He wrote and produced the entire project. So my one producer to another, my fucking hats off to you, brother, because this is honestly one of the best videos I've seen, throughout the veteran community and in a very, 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 very long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. So just bear with me, because this is obviously the very first time I'm doing this. So I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch of "you're a fucking idiot" comments, but
hate mail. Yeah, this video is pretty raw. It's Wow. That's like, hey Neal.
Hello.
How's it
Neal, man, hold up, dude. It's I get. It's not the first time I watched it, so it's powerful, man. I mean, it leaves me speechless.
Yeah.
You know, it's
such a good video.
You did good, brother. You did
Thank
good.
You.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
So how's it going, man? Thank you so much for being on Liberty Risk with us today.
Well, thanks for bringing me on. Things are going pretty well. I, as you can see, I just got to my friend's place. He's got a pretty good setup here. He's got his own mic and got a decent 4K camera. So, you know, I'm in a well-lit room this time, but, you know, things are going well. I'm here because I'm going to house sit for him. He's going to leave to Georgia for work. And so I'm just here for 2 weeks. But I got a big old cuddly pit bull and 2 kitties to look after. So I got my work cut out for me.
There's nothing wrong with that. So, brother, real quick, let's give everyone a quick rundown of, you know, what branch you're in, how long you're in, what you did real quick, and then what brought you to become, you know, what you're doing now.
Sure. So first off, my name is Neal Andrews, and from Wichita, Kansas, you know, good old Midwestern boy. But I was in the Navy for 5 years. I was a ABF, which is a Aviation Boatswain's Mate Aircraft Fuels. So I was a grape ape, as they called us.
Yeah. No.
And so I wore purple up on the flight deck. I was, you know, fueling and defueling aircraft all day, all night. I was stationed on board both the USS Gerald R. Ford. Well, that was my second command, but my first was USS John C. Stennis. And when I was on the Stennis, we were stationed out in Bremerton, Washington, which is actually where I got a lot of my tattoos. So, so I was on board the Stennis for oh God, let's see. See, I got in the Navy in 2014. So I was on the Stennis from October of 2014 to December of 2016. And then I got transferred to, at the time, PCU Gerald R. Ford in January of 2017. And served out the rest of my time on my contract there until August 5th of 2019. And
nice.
From there, I had a 2-week summer vacation and went straight into school at Regent University in Virginia Beach. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You didn't take a break at all. It's just like that's like a short leave period.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually found that I don't like breaks now. I'm on Christmas break and so Regent shut down just before Thanksgiving. So I had to fly home back to Kansas where I'm at now. And so they told us don't come back till spring. And I was like, okay. And so that's where I'm at now. I enjoy being home. In fact, this was my first Thanksgiving home in 6 years. So that was actually pretty great. Awesome. But so I'm as some people may have already guessed, I am a cinema and television major at Regent University. And I figured I'd join the Navy, serve my time and use the GI Bill to go to college, because I knew that after community college, like just going to a university just wouldn't happen because I couldn't afford it. So I figured after I got out, I would go to school, and as Tom Petty says, I am running down a dream with film. So that
love the Petty reference again. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, just I think I've got one more class left this semester that has not been completed yet, and that's my introduction to economics class, and that's Jesus. God. Yeah.
I just threw up in my okay, sorry.
Yeah.
just shake that off quick.
But I will say though that the most interesting thing that I've done in this class is that I wrote a paper about about the economy of Germany from 1918 to 1989, and went into their economic struggles after World War I, during World War II, and then right up to when the Berlin Wall fell. So that was a very interesting paper for me to write.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's a very interesting time in world history too. The wall. I remember. Gosh, I remember just hearing about all that. You know, my grandfather, like, my grandfather was one of those fucking commies. Them fucking commie bastards. It was one of those.
Like his grandson?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So you learn from the best.
So, Neal, I gotta ask you. You got out of the Navy about a year ago. How has your transition been out of the Navy? I mean, you went 2 weeks right back into college, and you already had gone to college. So how was that whole transition period?
So the transition period was pretty difficult. If I didn't have my dad, who served in the Navy in the 70s, if I didn't have him on my side, I would have really, really struggled. You know, I battled hard with depression even after I got into Regent. Because, you know, the chain of command, they did exactly what every chain of command does. One of my chief warrant officers looked me dead in the face and said, it doesn't matter what you're going to do, you will fail, and you'll end up on the side of the street, and you'll be wishing that you never would have left. And, you know, I was just like, well, man, fuck you, dude. And you just being a straight up ass. And
that's because it's guys like, you know, service members like them don't have shit on the outside, and they know it.
Yeah.
And they get so fucking scared to get out that they're just it's that toxic.
They want to scare everyone else.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, my dad, you know, he was helping me through it, because he said, yeah, when I got out in 81, you know, I was just like, what am I going to do? No one's telling me what to do. And he said, I just laid in bed for like 2 weeks. And he said, if it wasn't for your mom, I probably never would have made it, because your mom just came into the room one day and said, get your ass up. You're going to do this, 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 and this. He's like, you got it. And just hop to it.
Perfect.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So he kind of did the same thing for me. And, you know, it made the transition process a lot easier. And then when I discovered the SVA right before I went to Regent, I met Jose Roman, which was in the credits of the video. He's actually my boss over at Regent.
Oh, nice.
I work in the Military Resource Center over at Regent. So I'm
awesome. Very awesome.
Back before COVID, I worked with a lot of students face to face, and then Jose and I would get resumes from other veterans, and we would just look them over. And if they had any issues, if they were minor issues, we'd fix them. But if they were big issues, we'd like highlight them in red and say, hey, this is what you have to fix. Give it back to them, have them fix it. And then once it's fixed, they send it back to us. And then we just give it like the final touches and make it look like something really, really good. And then say, all right, you should get a job from this resume.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
but now with COVID, we don't do anything. So
that sucks. I know my school, we are still in school, but it's all remote and everything is online. So all my classes are online.
What school do you go to?
Dying. I go to school up in New Jersey. So my school is called Rowan University. We do not have an SBA.
Start one.
I would, but I'm literally in my last.
You're not the first person who's told her this.
Yeah, you
are not.
SBA person on here has been like, start your own, and I'm like, I'm about to leave, and I work full time, go to school full time, and do this. So I have like absolutely no time for anything else.
That's understandable. I get that.
Like,
it's
not even dating. There's no time for even dating.
Oh my God,
Meg.
Yeah.
So
I understand that too.
Things get busy. So you mentioned that your friend Jose was in your video. Now you're going to school for media and communication, right? Or it was like media and TV.
Is cinema and television.
There we go. There you go.
God, get it right, Jesus.
Yeah. So was this video a project for one of your classes?
Yes.
Or was it okay? And
this was for This was for our film producing class, and so basically, our teacher, he told us, he said, you're only allowed to produce this. You're only allowed to produce the project, and I'm like, okay, but at the same time, he said, you have to write the pitch, and you also have to write a script. And I'm like, but you just said we can't write it; we can only produce. So, whatever. But
just saying too many things that don't make sense. Help me.
Yeah, but I was the only veteran in the class, and when I did my pitch, I went up to the whiteboard and I wrote 22, and I said, so does anyone know what this number means? And they're like, they started naming like sports people that I don't have fucking no idea who they are. And then someone actually said, is that the number of craps I take every day? And I'm like, you should see a doctor. And so I told him, I said, yeah. And so I told him, I said, this is the average number of veterans that take their lives daily. And they're like, oh no.
Oh, and then the crap guy is like
yeah,
I'm gonna go stick my head in a toilet now.
Pretty much. And so I gave them the pitch. They loved it. And so when I wrote the script was originally about 5-6 pages, and it went through several revisions, and then it was brought down to 2 pages. So I ended up taking out a lot of the dialogue, and because honestly, a lot of the dialogue that was there just really wasn't needed. And so then it got reduced down to 2 pages. And my crew was just me, Rudnel, who we call Rudy. He was my director. And he was actually the one that said this should be a short film, because originally it was only going to be a PSA. So only a commercial, which was going to be about 30 seconds. He's like, dude, this needs to be a short film. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. So, so as a producer, we have to do all of the paperwork that is involved with making a film or a commercial or a short film. So I had a binder of about 20 or 30 pages that I had to do everything for. We had to get permission for a location, which I didn't have to do that because when in the short film, when it showed our actor Tiran, when it showed him pulling up to the woods, that was just way out in the middle of nowhere. So we're just like, fuck it, we're not even gonna ask permission. We're it's nowhere.
Yeah.
And so then when he's walking in the woods, we actually went to a different location, which was a public park it was Indian River Park in Virginia Beach. So we shot there, and since it's a public park, we don't need permission. It's public. So since I had about 20 or 30 pages, of all the pages that I needed, I only needed about 5. So the rest of the pages, my teacher's like, yeah, just fill it in anyway, essentially just bullshit it and just have it there. So I had to do a script breakdown, which was just, as it sounds like, breaking down the entire script, color coding everything. I had to organize casting auditions, which my audition just, I walked right up to Tiran over at the Y, where he works across the street from campus. I said, hey, you want to be in the short film? He's like, sure. And I was like, cool. And then that was done.
That's easy enough.
Were you guys friends beforehand, or you just like knew
some
guy?
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah. We had worked on a few projects together before, and none of which were mine. This was my first project that he was in. In fact, this was my second project. My first project was for my fundamentals of producing class, and that actually was a music video, and it had the song Mein Herz Brennt by Rammstein, and the song in English translates to My Heart Burns, and the song's actually about nightmares. So our music video was depicting somebody going through sleep paralysis.
So Justin, real quick, we got a question from one of our viewers. I'm going to put it up here on the screen.
So what was your inspiration for the film? Okay. Well, we are about to get really dark here, so kids, buckle up. When I was on board the Stennis, we got deployed from January of 2016 to August of 2016. And I never knew why, but everybody in my work center hated me. They just could not stand me. I couldn't figure it out. And every day they told me to kill myself every single day for 8 months.
What?
And yeah, well, hold on, it gets worse. So once that really began to take its toll, I'd start staring at jet intakes, thinking about throwing myself into one, and start thinking about jumping overboard, and like without my float coat, and things just got really, really, really intense. And I was about to go and report people because I was like, I'm not putting up with this shit. And when some of the people got caught wind of it, they tossed me into a fan room and said, if you report this, we're going to make your life a living hell. You're going to wish you would have killed yourself. And so at this time, flash forward to about, I think it was June or July, we were in Hawaii, and I was TAD to security, and it was, I was working night shift. And so I walked up to the flight deck, came up on the aft end, and I was just like, you know what? This is it. I'm fucking done with this shit, and I can't take it anymore. So I walked all the way up to the bow of the ship, went down on the port side, went right next to the work center, crawled into a small little tight corner, took off my M4, pulled out my M9, got down on my knees, took the safety off, hammer back, and I put the barrel of the gun in my mouth. And I sat there and I thought about all the reasons why I should. And then I started thinking about all the reasons why I shouldn't. And I came to the realization that if I did this, then everyone that kept telling me to commit suicide, they would win. And I kid you not, I guess it was my conscience, I don't know. But right before I was about to carry out with it, I literally just heard a voice that said, if you do this, you're going to miss a lot of really good movies coming out. And it's perfectly fine to laugh at that, because that shit's funny. It is.
No, but that's good motivation too.
Yeah.
It might be silly, but it's something important to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the reason I laugh is because it's little things like that bring you back.
Yeah.
To why it's important to be here instead of not be here,
Yeah. And so I decided not to do it. And I was like, you know what? If these bastards want me to kill myself so bad, I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to stay alive in spite of them. So fuck them. And
yeah, that's right.
So I put everything back on, and I left that dark corner, and I never looked back.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you did it, man. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah,
I really am.
And I'm glad you guys are here too. No, it didn't. No, it and here's the funny thing. So as my mom and I like to say, my mama didn't raise no fool. And she taught me that whenever something really bad happens and people wrong you, you should, take it and not hold on to it, but you should let it go, and you should forgive those people. So I actually forgave them for it. And to this day, when I try to reach out to those same people to try to talk to them and see how they're doing, because a lot of them are like parents now and everything, I reach out to them just to say, hey, everything that happened, I just want to let you know that I forgive you, and I'm not holding any grudges. They will not talk to me, not at all.
It's not surprising. That's how people like that are. But
so, whatever.
It's your own loss at that point.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more questions, and we got a question and a comment. So,
did you seek any outside help? Let like Dr. Chaps. Honestly, I was too afraid to tell at any of my chaplains, because once I was put in that fan room and saying that things were going to get really horrible for me, I was honestly too afraid to really report it, because I didn't want things to get worse. They were already as bad as they could be. So I never reported it. And the only time that I really talked about it was after I got out. I wrote this long book of a Facebook post talking about everything, and I didn't name any names. And my reasoning for that is I just wanted to keep it private, but at least the name part. But
yeah,
I told the whole story.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I eventually told my folks, and I told my sister first, because my sister's like my second mom, and she's the oldest and I'm the youngest. I've got a sister and a brother. And I told my sister first, and she's like, yeah, if you would have did that, I would have come down there, brought you back to life, beat you to death, and then, took the entire Navy to court.
That's a good sister.
Yeah. When I say she's my second mom, I mean it. She's my second mom. Yeah. But yeah, it was a really difficult time, but I think it's something that really has made me stronger, because, now I don't get stressed out as much, and depression nowadays, it just, it honestly just comes and goes, but I'm able to look at it and say, you know what, let's figure out why you're depressed, and then let's go have a good meal, take a fat shit, and go to bed.
That's what I like doing.
Yeah, so that's
awesome.
That's the long story of the inspiration.
That's awesome.
It's a good inspiration, and a lot of us have similar stories, not always the same, but we all have reasons for doing the things that we do, and where our passions lie. And your passion is now in your infamous 22, and it turned out
it's
beautiful.
Killer, dude. Honestly, yeah, it's killer, man.
Like, I saw it and I thought it was like a professionally made video. Like, I thought it was like a trailer for a movie. Like, that was how good it was to me. So kudos to you. You did an awesome job on that, and it really does strike home to a lot of people.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that, but I can't take all the credit, because if it wasn't for my team, this never would have happened. So they deserve all the credit in the world. I deserve maybe this much, because like one guy did the sound design and the editing, and like, I'm just like, dude, you're taking on so much work, and all I did was write it and produce it, and that didn't feel like half as much as work as what you're doing. So,
don't tell yourself, you still did a lot of work.
I did, but it seems like everybody else did more. But I'm like I said, I'm so thankful for my crew, and
that's awesome. Dude.
They're a great bunch of guys.
That's so awesome.
My next question for you is, other than our response, mine and Billy's, what are other responses that you got from this video? Like, how'd you do on the assignment, and how did your class take it? I'm sure you had to show them.
Yeah.
And with real quick, with that being asked is, as creators, the three of us, we create this content, these videos and all this stuff. And we've been asked that, how's the response to your podcast? And, we're asking you, how's the response to your video? And I just always thought it was funny, because in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, we're going to get all these, you're always looking for the positive. And I had to learn, before you tell us, I had to learn, or we had to learn as a podcast, that when you get the negative comments too, you have to just take those with a grain of salt and chalk it up as a learning experience. So I just wanted to kind of, because we're in that, we get in those situations. But how was the response to the video? Like, because it's not just your class. This is on YouTube.
So
this is public.
Yeah. So there has been positive feedback from all the comments that are on the video on YouTube, but I think there's only like 5 comments, and all the comments, okay. I think, yeah, perfectly fine. And the video, I think, has like 400 something views, which is great, because all the rest of my videos on my YouTube channel have maybe like 2. So like honestly, everything's been positive. In my class, there was constructive criticism, but it wasn't anything bad. And like you're like, you know what, you could have done this instead, and it would have made it that much better. But it like it's fine how it is. But it was like feedback like that. It was all constructive criticism.
Yeah.
My teacher said that he wasn't sure if it was supposed to be a short film or a commercial or a PSA because it kind of went all over the place. He said you should have had maybe like a voiceover or something to make it more along the lines of a short film, which honestly, like as soon as he said that, I'm just like, why didn't I fucking think of that shit?
You should.
But
that's when you contact Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. But yeah, like the whole class, they all loved it. And then you had the people that said, yeah, you should have done this instead. It would have made it that much better, but still whatever. And the assignment has not been graded yet. And
what?
Yeah. And this was turned in like the first week of November, and it still hasn't been graded. So
slacking, professor.
Yeah. It probably
invisible strings everywhere.
Yeah. It probably won't be graded until, I mean, possibly after Christmas or even January. I mean, because this one teacher, like so many of the teachers that are in the cinema and television program, so many of them left, and this one teacher was given so many classes, and he's just like, oh my god. So honestly, with him, he can take his time. Yeah. But one of my personal friends here in Kansas, he works at the cigar lounge that I always go to, and he was in the, I might have this wrong, but I think he was in the 10th Armored in the Army, and he was a Ranger, and he's struggled heavily with PTSD. I mean, heavily. And after watching it, he said, this took me back to a few places, but honestly, if you don't get an A on this assignment, I'm going to kill someone. And I'm just like, I hope you're kidding. I really, really hope you're kidding.
Please don't say these things. It's confusing my brain.
Yeah, but yeah.
Do you?
So, dude,
well, so after I made this, I sat down and took a hard look at myself and asked myself the hard question: once you get into Hollyweird, what sort of films or TV shows or whatever do you want to make? And I've thought really, really hard about it. And I was like, I really want to make just military related movies and such like that.
Yeah.
And right now, at this very moment, if somebody in Hollywood called me up and said, hey, you can make anything that you want, you have everything at your own disposal, what do you got? And right now, the film that I would love to make, that's like a dream film, is I would want to make a movie about the Night Witches of World War II. Have you guys ever heard of those people?
Ooh, yes, I have.
Actually, no, I haven't.
Okay.
Really, Billy?
Yeah, which is weird because Meg, I'm like one of those closet fucking history buff nerds. I'm one of those because my grandfather fought in the Battle of Okinawa.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, he was on LPA 179, the USS Lauderdale, and they were one of the few ships that didn't take bombing damage, and they actually housed 173 Japanese POWs.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So they actually entered the battle a day late. Did what they had to do. Went back to San Francisco, and then came back. And I didn't know any of this, and this is where I started really getting appreciation for American military history. My grandfather passed away when I was 12, and when I came home from leave after my first deployment. My mother was like, I want to show you something. And my grandfather had one of those old stereotypical wooden sea chests that he kept everything in from when he was in his time. Because my grandfather was born in 1910.
Mm.
So when he was in World War II, he was in his mid-30s. So
shit.
He kept daily, he had these little leather journals, and every day he wrote in them.
Wow.
And 15 of them, of these journals. And I just went through them, and yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But no, I'm a big World War II history buff, but I've never heard of that, so I'm intrigued to find out.
Tell them about the Night Witches, please.
Okay. So when I first heard about the Night Witches, I listened to the song Night Witches by Sabaton. And if you've never heard of Sabaton before, Sabaton is a band. I believe they're a Swedish or Norwegian power metal band. Okay. And all of their songs have to do with war and the military and such like that. Their current album is called The Great War, which is an album all about World War I. And it's a fantastic album. But the song Night Witches was on their Heroes album, and it's the first track on the album. And when I heard it, I was like, this song's fucking badass. And then I went to their history channel that they have on YouTube, and I started learning about the Night Witches. So the Night Witches, they were part of the Russian Air Force, and they were Night Bomber Regiment 588. And they, yes, this comment says Russian women fighter pilots, scariest women ever. Yes, they were the most highly decorated, and they were the most feared Russian pilots, and they were all women.
What?
It gets
crazier. How did I not hear about this?
It gets crazier. So the reason why they were called the Night Bombers is because these women flew. Sabaton is awesome. Hell yes, they are. So these women, they would fly in these World War I era biplanes, and the Russian men made fun of them and called these aircraft, they called them sewing machines, because that's kind of what they sounded like. And what they would do is that they would sleep during the day, get up at dusk, and they flew, I think during the course of the war, they flew a few thousand sorties, like the whole war. And when they flew, they would fly at night, but then as they were coming in to bomb their target, they would actually cut off their engines so that no one could hear them coming. And a lot of the times, the co-pilot would have the bomb in her lap, and she would then she'd throw it out the side. And so they were extremely successful. And I think so, like, women from all over Russia came from all over, and they flew for the Night Witches. And I think about 30 of them died, and they were not issued any parachutes, and they were only issued a pistol for defense. None of their clothes fit because everything was geared towards the men, so they had to stuff the boots filled with like just stuffing, really, so that they would fit. And so I think it would be absolutely incredible to make a film about them and actually use, if I could actually do it, use Russian actors and have them portray these women. And I've looked all over, and the only thing I've found is a couple of documentaries about them and one really, really, really shitty TV show that was made in the 80s.
I actually, believe this or not, and I'm going to say it here so you can hold me to it. I have someone that I served with who might be able to help you out with that.
Really?
Yes. So we'll talk offline about that, but yes, yes, we will. Yes. Yes.
I actually have one more fact about the Night Witches that you didn't mention, and Bill,
okay.
Pee your pants with excitement.
Okay. Yes. It's going to get so warm in here.
Engines were so bad that the co-pilot would have to get out and hang over the front of the biplane and spin the propeller to get the engine to start back up.
Yeah.
And then going back into the
plane. The fuck up.
That's how
Shut the
women work.
Wait.
They literally start their engines mid-flight by hand.
What?
Yeah. And here's another fact that I actually forget. Here's another fact that I actually forgot to mention. So God, I forget what her rank was, but she was kind of like the commander of the squadron or like the regiment, but I think she retired from the Russian military in the 60s, maybe. And she actually took it upon herself to go to each individual site where she lost a night witch and actually paid her respects and made like a little memorial for him. And the last night witch actually died in 2017. So none of them are around anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've never heard that. I'm so psyched to do so much fucking research right now. Like, I just want to be like, all right, thank you for joining Liberty Risk. I gotta go. Like, I want to read about this shit. This is cool as hell. That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, here's another awesome thing, which this would also make a really cool movie. On their Great War album, they have a song called "Attack of the Dead Men." I'm not going to tell you the history because there's so much, but they have a 15-minute video on their history channel. Just watch that, and it is like, if this blows your mind, then Attack of the Dead Men is going to blow your mind even more.
Okay, yeah, all right. So everyone, thank you for watching Liberty Risk. We're gonna get the fuck out of here because I need to go look stuff up and do some research.
But those are awesome. I'm excited to see your future projects and see what other cool stuff you have coming out, because I'm still blown away by that video. It was so good.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, dude, and if it's okay with you, I'd like to show that every once in a while, because we do, we are big advocates, or of the 22, and is the Veterans Crisis Line is something that we push. It's right here. We usually have a banner on the bottom, so it was good to see that too, and we had someone just recently that we've had on the show said that they used it, and it's not just for when you're on the fence. This person used it just because they didn't know who else to talk to, and they remember us in the veteran community as a fellow vet talking about it. So what you created with that short film, with the commercial, whatever whatever you want to decide to call it, but with that video that's up there on YouTube, you created something special, and I think like here at Liberty Risk, we're gonna say it how it is, and I think that's the only way to really get through to people. Sometimes we don't like to dance around shit, and that video right there tells that. So Neal, as someone, and I've said this before, as a suicide failure myself, thank you, because the more we could, talk about this, and the more we can get it out and get rid of the stigma that it, suck it up, buttercup, get rid of that bullshit. Yeah. That number is going to start to go down, and hopefully one day, and hopefully in our lifetime, we can see that number at 0, because that would be a blessing, and you mentioned it, you're talking to the class, that this is 22 a day. And I had someone ask me, through conversation, I said, 22 veterans. It's 22 veterans that, every day take their life. And they were like, what? I said, let me put it into terms for you like this. Almost every hour of every day, a veteran is taking their own life. Yep. Well, so it's, so thank you for that video, man. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. We actually found out through research that the number actually went down to 17, but then once COVID hit, it then shot up 20%. So it's no longer 17.
Yeah, it was at, I found out this, I saw the same numbers, and it sucks, but we just got to keep being there for each other. Like we tell everyone on here, I don't care if you message us at 2 a.m. and you're saying, hey, I don't have to know you. Hey, I've watched your show. I need someone to fucking talk to. I'm getting up.
Yep.
You know, we've all had good support systems. That's why we're able to do this podcast. And, you know, and it's a blessing you're here to be able to, you know, create that video and put it out there for everyone to see. And, you know, it's good stuff, man. It really is. It's just, I get lost in the words because I get emotional about it, is because I've lost a lot of friends. Unfortunately, in the numbers in the double digits. And I hate to say that, through the course of, you know, from when I first joined the military back in 2000, until now. And I've lost friends, you know, through combat stuff too. So it just sucks because, you know, videos like that, as raw as it is, you know, some, you know, there's, you know, some people can't watch it, and that's fine. That's okay.
That's
you know,
perfectly fine. Yeah.
That's okay. But the message is there that, you know, that you're more important to be here than 6 feet under. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I actually, this might be a summer project for me, but I'm thinking about writing a script and a little bit of a pitch about a biopic about Bob Ross, because I was actually really surprised there's not been a movie about Bob Ross for a lot of the things that he went through.
Yeah, there's actually, and he's a vet.
Yep.
So it's that. Yeah, you know, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
So keep it on the low, man. Don't tell too much. You know.
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't want big Hollywood stealing your shit. You know what I mean? And
well, so Regent, every year they have, actually it's like twice a year, they have what's known as an endowed film, and the endowed film is a film that Regent chooses, and they fork over, I think it's like $20,000 or $30,000 to make this short film, or an actual full-length feature. And I remember, I think it was last year, Old Dominion University, ODU, they did an endowed film, and they actually got Jim Gaffigan to be in it.
Really?
And yeah. I still haven't seen it, but my pitch would be for an actual pitch that I wrote in my this was my first semester, and it was the class was called Intro to Visual Storytelling, and this was our final, and I got an A on it, and it went through a lot of revisions. But it's actually a whoops. Let's see. So it is a historically, well, it's how do I want to say this? It's a historical fiction piece, and it's called The Battered, and it's about the battered bastards of Bastogne in the Battle of the Bulge. And
okay. It's a lot of bees.
Yeah. But it's about 99% accurate, at least historically. Because I had my brother look into it, who has his bachelor's in history. He corrected a lot of things. My dad, a huge history buff, he read it. He corrected a lot of things. And it's basically just about this kid who wants to join up in the military after Pearl Harbor, but his mother won't let him because he's an only child, and she's a widow, and she doesn't want to lose her only son. She's a Rosie the Riveter, and she's trying to just keep her son home. But eventually he gets drafted, and but before he even gets his draft notice, his mother goes to a recruiting station where she knows a guy and said, "This is my only son. You will not do this, and I will make your life a living hell. Get rid of it." And eventually he ends up joining anyway. And his first his first piece of action, if you want to call it that, is at the Battle of the Bulge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it ends with Patton's tank division rolling in and just destroying the German line in the Ardennes. So
Jesus.
yeah, it's a pretty climactic ending. So I'm going to pitch that in the fall.
Nice.
So that hopefully, if it does get accepted, then hopefully we can get like some reenactors or somebody to be in it and find some place that remotely resembles the Ardennes, and then if we have to, maybe make fake snow or something. So,
which one that wouldn't be too hard.
That'll be super cool.
Yeah, we would probably have to go out to Shenandoah Valley. That's probably the best place for it to happen. Yeah. So, but that's only if it gets accepted. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, Neal, I can't thank you enough for being on here with us today on Liberty Risk. I'm super fucking excited to see what you have in the future. You know, everyone, his YouTube channel's down there, so I suggest you get over there and subscribe and, you know, wait for him to get more content up there, and, you know, go ahead and check that the video out again, because it's powerful. So Neal,
I mainly just do unboxing videos there. So
those are, I love those. So those are good to go. I love that shit.
So good.
Yeah, those so awesome. But Neal, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Hey man, and, thanks for having me.
We would love to have you back. So we'll definitely be talking soon.
Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you very much, Billy and Meg. Thank you.
No worries, brother. You take easy.
Hey, you too.
Take care.
Wow. Yeah, it's you know, I've watched the video. I've watched the video a few times. He's good at what he does, and it's powerful stuff. So, you know, every little thing, you know, everything like that makes an impact. And, you know, there's always the mentality like we have, you know, if we can get through to one, then we've done our job. I think that's the most important thing, is because these numbers are it's heartbreaking, you know. And I know it's hard, and we mention it a lot, but I think it's something that if we're not supposed to just talk about one time. I think it's something we're supposed to bring up continuously, or at least sporadically, to remind everyone, especially around this time of year, that, you know, you can reach out to us and you know, call the Veterans Crisis Line, and remember to press 1, and you'll be able to have someone, or you could text. Also, now they have that text feature, the 838-255. So always reach out to that. And yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, Meg. So
yeah, and if any of our viewers feel like you need somebody to talk to, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here for you guys as well.
So, all right, everyone, thank you so much. We'll be back on Thursday night, Meg, right? Yeah, Thursday night. We'll be back here at 7:30 East Coast time. I thought literally I thought you were like gonna flash everybody. I'm like, no, Meg, we're gonna get banned. But no, everyone, thank you so much for joining in with us tonight, and we'll see you all Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. East Coast.